Yeah, just go. Just jump in.
What do we say? Welcome.
Is that how we start?
Welcome. Welcome
This is how we talk.
to the Two Pieces podcast. I am Luke, and this is Siobhan. And how have you been?
How have I been? I've been pretty good.
been,
I mean, it's been a
Siobhan?
week. It's been a week.
It's been exactly a week.
It's been exactly a week, and I mean, other than you knowing that, I'm just watching that anime and trying to like survive. Really, I've just been going to work and going to the gym, things like that. Yourself?
It feels like we're like pretending to
Yeah,
have a conversation.
Yeah, but like to be totally honest, to be totally honest, I guess because we know we're doing this podcast, we try not to like just tell each other. I mean, the anime is one thing, but just in general, like what we're doing, like all that kind of stuff, we don't really tell each other, oh yeah, this is all the stuff that I'm doing right now. So it's kind of like neat to catch up on the podcast.
It is interesting. When we first started the podcast, I was saying like, I wonder how that changes the dynamic of like conversation that we have in regular life. We talked about this before we recorded our first episode. We're like, does this mean we're like not allowed to talk? And it's like, it's kind of true.
Yeah. So since we've started doing our recordings, we haven't had an event. No, your birthday. We had your birthday, but that was before anything like was out, right?
Okay.
I think. I'm not exactly sure with the dates, but I feel like we had recorded once or twice.
So we barely had any like events to actually like catch up.
Yeah, but now coming up is your wife's birthday. So I guess we just don't talk during your wife's birthday. We'll just mingle with other people the entire birthday, and then
No, you know what I think actually is the case? I reckon people that do podcasts like this, especially, I guess because our podcast is at least a little bit conversational. And it's especially like, I guess it's especially sharing our opinions and stuff. I feel like people that have podcasts like that probably end up learning to just be really good at repeating a conversation. So it's like, even if we've discussed this, then we just like learn to be supernatural at discussing it again as if we haven't discussed it.
We could do that, or just like get really good at vague posting, just or like have very, very lukewarm takes. Sorry to use your name in vain. Really, really basic takes when we meet up in person, and then try and shock the other person during the podcast. Like I'll be like, oh yeah, this movie I just watched at the cinemas, it was all right, but then I come out and say, the Super Mario movie, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. What were they doing?
Cinema. Oh,
what were they doing? Nah, actually, have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Maybe we'll talk about it later because I wanted to tell. Last week I told everyone, I guess, about like we all talked about our hobbies, and I mentioned how one of the things I want to do was watch a movie every week. So I thought, you know what, it might be kind of neat to go over all the movies I'd watched so far this year. And for the truly astute among us, all of the Ivy League university students and everything, they'd be able to count later. I have not watched a movie every week. I watched maybe about 12 movies this year. It's very sad. I couldn't keep up with like one every week. I just get too busy. But yeah, I guess we can talk about.
And you're not catching up?
It's not like the anime thing that we're doing. There's no like rule that I have to like keep to it. I try to, right? So like generally with the time that I get to do, the fun little thing that I have time for, it's on the weekend. So like to watch a movie, because you need like at least 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
To watch the movie, and maybe like you need some time beforehand because maybe you want to like eat because you're at home just watching a movie while eating. And then movies I go to watch at the cinema count as well. So I watched the Super Mario movie at the cinemas, Project Hail Mary at the cinemas. I watched Mortal Kombat last week as well.
Okay,
Mortal Kombat 2?
New one?
The new one,
All
Mortal Kombat 2. I watched that so that counted as my movie last week.
Okay.
So those ones, you need the time to, like, allotted time to drive to the cinemas and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Whereas when you watch a movie at home, there's also still time you need to do. I just can't fit it in during a weekday because generally my weekday is full of work, home, go to the gym, or, you know, going to Korean class, coming here on the day we come to record, all that kind of stuff. It just gets filled really quick.
I do see watching a movie on a weeknight as slightly unhinged behavior.
Really?
Like, something kind of crazy about
Really?
it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, go on.
Not that I haven't done it, but I think, so I actually did it somewhat recently, which is rare for us because we barely ever watch movies. We like watching movies in the cinemas, but we so rarely watch movies at home these days. Just because, I don't know, if we're going to watch something, we just watch shows.
Yeah.
But we did this thing a couple weeks ago, which is just like a Jade and I thing to do. Like if Jade and I are going to have, like, I don't know, a date night, one of the things that we do is, like, I don't know how to explain this, we kind of like emulate a vibe. So we were thinking about going to Gold Class.
Okay.
To watch Project Hail Mary. And then we were pretty close to booking it. But then when you start getting around to it, every time it kind of talks you out of it by the time you've gone through the checkout process. Really? Because it's like, by the time you add on your ticket prices, which are already inflated, they're like $50 or something like that. I could
go on such a rant about cinema ticket prices, man.
Yeah. And then you're like, well, I know that we're also then going to want to buy all the foods and stuff at the Gold Class because, like, otherwise why are you going? I feel like that's part of it. And then, you know, some drinks and whatever, and then we're doing the math and we're like, this is just going to cost so much money. Yeah. And so I was like, all right, I've got a plan. How about we pull up the Gold Class menu of the items that we could get, and they do like a deal where it's like, I don't know what it is, like one entree, 2 mains and a dessert or something like that for a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, so then let's pick 1 entree, 2 mains and a dessert. And then before the movie starts, I'll cook them and I'll cook them up. And then at like regular intervals, we'll pause the movie and I'll go get.
This is like ghetto Gold Class. So we got Gold Class at home.
Exactly. We got Gold Class at home.
Oh, that's so funny.
I cooked the like exact dishes that we would have ordered from the Gold Class menu, and we watched the newer, I don't know how new it is, Knives Out movie.
Oh yeah. I think last year it came out, but have you seen the others?
I haven't watched the COVID one. Because we saw we haven't watched the one that was set during COVID. So we saw the original Knives Out, and then there's Glass Onion or something.
Glass Onion was the one that I'm thinking that you think is the COVID one. Edward Norton.
Yeah. Okay.
Where they're on the island?
Yeah, so we haven't watched that one because we went to start it, and then they started talking about this like pandemic, and I'm just like, I just can't.
Right, yeah.
I just can't. Which
I think the second one is the weakest in terms of how good the others are. The first one was really, really fun because I think no one really
the first one was kind of unexpectedly good.
Yeah, and then the third one I think is the best.
The priest one.
Yeah. Acting wise, the mystery itself.
It's a little like, it feels a little like almost like stage play in terms of the acting and the presence. And
I really enjoy in terms of like acting. It's the most recent film where I think I saw it and I was like just happy to watch like the people interact. It felt like a Quentin Tarantino movie. Where, oh yeah, I just want to like see how these people play off each other and stuff like that. So it's like just fun to watch that.
I do think it's an interesting topic because I remember actually thinking about it during COVID when all of this media started coming out and everything was set during the pandemic. At the time, it was a very like, I don't know, comforting kind of thing. And I remember thinking, it's like, this is something we would have discussed on the podcast. I remember thinking like, what does this mean for general like the canon of all sorts of fiction, because now
Oh,
every
okay.
type of fiction is going to split off into one of two roads. Either the pandemic happened and then they need to kind of address it somehow,
Yeah.
or it didn't happen, which is kind of strange for some stories.
Yeah.
That they're like in this parallel universe where the pandemic didn't happen. I think now, as we've seen it play out, it's like, I think it's a little bit less exciting than whatever I was imagining. It kind of ended up like there was a lot of content that was made during the pandemic that was set during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And that was like, I guess it was like, I felt like it was kind of comforting material at the time, because it was like, oh, this is interesting. We're all going through this whole thing. And now our favorite characters are too. But I think most of the time since, any media that does reference it, we'll just kind of reference it in passing and then kind of move on.
Yeah. I mean, if you think of it like from the outside perspective of how we like view, say, a series, and maybe the series is set in the real world, but it's sort of a bit in the future of when the pandemic happened. If they even reference it within the series, oh, we're set in the real world and it's 2030. Did 10 years ago the pandemic happen in fiction or not? I think if you think of it that way, like does every piece of media really reference, when it's set in the real world, do they reference all the big things that happened in the past? Like I know that a lot of films do reference like 9/11 a lot when it's set in America, or like if the American like zeitgeist is what the movie's about. But then how long until movies took how long did movies take till they stopped like mentioning 9/11 being a thing? Which I think COVID, it'll happen the same way. I think there will be a lot of film where and series where, oh yeah, you know what, COVID is the backdrop. Like there's that like kind of stigma sitting with all these fictional characters that might have gone through that moment, just like the audience has. And then eventually it's going to be like, whatever, like who cares? It just happened and it didn't. It doesn't change much.
Like,
sort of thing.
I guess
not that 9/11 didn't matter. Like it's just like in terms of the fiction.
But I do think like, sure, 9/11 is just such like, all right, podcast. Let's discuss 9/11. Right? No, but I do think it was like, and obviously a historical event, but it was like an event. It did change things and it changed, dynamics and whatever afterwards. But the pandemic was like this prolonged thing of like, it went for
such
years,
a long time,
or potentially, I guess it depends where you are, how long your lockdowns were, all that kind of stuff. But it was like, it went for such a long time that now any piece of media, if their timeline spans through the year 2020, it's like,
can you avoid?
It's
not possible.
They have to make the decision. Like, are we going to put all of our characters through a pandemic, or are we just going to pretend it didn't happen? Because like often you get media that's set in the past, and now that part of the past will always be there in real life. Yeah.
And I think anytime someone mentions the year 2020, I think it's like the first thing that kind of pops up in your mind. Oh yeah, like that's the year everything kind of changed when the COVID nation attacked. Oh yeah, well, that was a bad joke. But we should keep it in. We should definitely keep it in. It's a really good idea to keep this joke in. But yeah, anyways, I did want to list out some of the films that I'd watched.
What was your general consensus on the Mario movie?
Okay, we'll start with that. So, I mean, I put a little asterisk next to films that I've watched at the cinemas, because generally, if I watch a film in the cinemas, it's a better experience, because I really, really like the cinemas. But I've somehow only watched 3 films in the cinemas this year, which is really, really low. I do know that there's a lot of films coming out later this year that I'm really excited for. Okay. Mainly Supergirl, the Street Fighter film, He-Man. Then there's Dune, which is very late in the year.
Okay, yeah.
Dune's coming out the same day as not Endgame. What's the do you want to call it? Doomsday?
Yeah.
And then there's the Chris Nolan movie, which is The Odyssey.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's close. And then the new Spider-Man film, I think Brand New Day is what it's called. That might be wrong, but I think it's Brand New Day.
Are you gonna watch the noir one?
Noir. Oh yeah, with Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
Remember in high school when are you thinking about that as well? Do you want to say the story?
Yeah, so on our final year of high school, we like historically, I don't know what it's like in other countries, but historically in, I guess, Australia, you have your muck up day where on the final day of school you get to like, you dress up and you do a bunch of like pranks and everything. The older year levels, so this is like this is a little bit of a law drop for you, even for the people that went to our school. But like a good roughly 10 years prior, there was such an extreme muck up day that it changed the landscape of muck up days forever. Because I remember going to that school as a kid, and they used to do things like the year 12s would go out onto the road with super soakers full of milk and like hold up the cars coming in to drop their kids off and be like, I think they were asking for money or something like that. And then they would like shoot the cars if they didn't comply. And then all this kind of things. Like I remember it just being like crazy. Like whenever you went to school on muck up day, even if you weren't in the year level, you'd be like, who knows what's going to happen? And then they'd like come running through your classrooms, and it was just like, it was like mayhem.
I remember that happened while we were in year 7. Like we weren't in the same class, but I remember on muck up day at year 7, the year 12s ran into our class, and like I can't remember what it was such a long time ago. Can't remember what they did, but they just ran in and they like messed around with our teacher for a little bit and like wrote some stuff on the whiteboard and ran out. I don't think they did much.
But it was still like way more mild than when I was there like in junior school. Yeah. And it was because of my eldest sister's year level. And they did a bunch of stuff and kind of ruined it for everyone. They did things like they put a sheep on the roof.
This is the story I heard. Yeah. I heard I heard that it was on the roof.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Like on the roof.
They put the sheep on a roof, which is the story I heard.
They put a sheep on a roof, and I think there was a little bit of like drinking shenanigans with underage students and stuff like that. And all kinds of stuff that I probably haven't heard the stories of. But then after that, it was like, no more muck up days. And then I guess year by year, it kind of like they kept banning more and more things to the point where when it got to our year level, we weren't allowed to do anything.
Yeah.
And we got to dress up.
Although some stuff did happen. I don't know if
some stuff did happen.
I'm pretty sure a tree got set on fire. I'm pretty sure a tree got set on fire.
But it wasn't us.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was like ex-students and stuff that came into the school like the night before.
Yeah, something like that. But then there was also like, I can't remember all this. It'll probably like sit in my mind, and then I'll remember it later on of all the weird things that happened. But I do know that the year like before us, they did basically nothing.
Yeah.
It was like
they weren't really allowed to.
All they did was like cross dress.
They told us that, which is so wild.
Yeah, it's super wild. Like the guys wore dresses and the girls wore the shirt and tie. Like,
So we were pretty much told like you're not allowed to do anything. And at this point, it wasn't even called muck up day. It was called activity day.
So boring.
Where they would take us like off campus to go do bowling and stuff. And
oh yeah, that's right. We all like got to dress up in costumes and stuff.
We dressed up in costumes. The one thing,
childish.
So I'm just realizing while we're telling this whole story, people are going, but why does this relate to Nicolas Cage?
It's how long have we been talking about this? With the lore of like muck up day. I guess that's context needed.
So I had been going to the school for so many years, and I'd also done media as one of my subjects, and we would get like a printing budget for the printers at school. And if you were a media student, you had ample printing budget, I suppose, because you're in media and maybe you're going to use it. I never did. All of my assignments were always like digital. And so I had like hundreds of dollars of printing money to use like the school's printers. And so I came up with the idea and got express permission from like, I think a particular teacher that I knew would find it funny. essentially took like a giant photo. I got a giant photo of Nicolas Cage, just his face, and kind of tiled it so that you would. I don't know how else to explain it. So tiled it so that each piece of paper that I printed out would be like one portion of it. So that
like how they sometimes get like multiple TV screens to make a bigger picture.
So, and I did the math and everything to work it out so that the windows of our like common room for our year level, it would cover up the entire common room windows, and it would be just this giant photo of Nicolas Cage's face. And I blue tacked them up the night before. And it was a lot of work. There was a lot of like logistical work too to like figure out that, and then like because you got to make sure all the pages are in the right order and all this kind of stuff. And I didn't get in trouble for that. I think the funniest thing about that is that it stayed up for ages.
It stayed up for ages because I remember it stayed up while all our final exams were on. So it stayed up, and then like I would go into the common room for the next like 2 weeks before my exams, or like after the exam, to chill before my parents came to pick me up. It just stayed there for so long.
I just find that so funny.
I don't know who took it down, but it was. I guess none of us really ever like went to school again, so someone had to take it down. We all just like finished on the last day, and then did our exams and went home.
I'm pretty sure I might have had to take it down.
Oh, really?
But I think I just wouldn't have until someone asked me to, and it just stayed up for a surprising amount of time. Like parts of it were already like falling down on its own by the time I had actually took the rest down, which is
but yeah, funny. So when we were talking about the Noir Spider-Man, Nick Cage is going to be acting in Spider-Man Noir, and as Spider-Man, right? As Spider-Man. Yeah. So he played Spider-Man Noir in the animated Spider-Man. That's why he's doing it. I don't know if you've seen it. Okay, in the one that's like been acclaimed for its animation. Yeah. So you caged us in to the common room. That's what like triggered that memory. Yeah. Anyways, the films are. Oh no, you asked me about Super Mario. I thought that film was incredibly pretty. Yeah, incredibly pretty. Worth watching in the cinemas. Probably. So much of that film could have been like wallpapers for your like computer. It just looks so good. But the story of it, I thought, and already like the Mario movie before that, it's not like, mega brain film. You don't need to like think about it. This one just felt less than that even. Like things were just happening. Yeah. They were just trying to get to places to do things. And even though the first film felt a bit like that, like, oh, like we're doing Mario Kart now, or like, oh, we're doing, this and that. This film, I thought they were really like aiming to just hit all of these like checks on like some clipboard, which kind of made me a bit sad because I thought if they just focused in a little bit more on, I don't know, Bowser a bit more in some way, or maybe just Rosalina a bit more in some way, instead of trying to do Bowser's family and Bowser Jr. and Rosalina, and then all of a sudden Star Fox is here and all that jazz. Just so much.
Just fan service for a short
film.
Movie.
It was a pretty short film as well. It was a bit. Oh, maybe it is fan servicey, and maybe it's targeting kids that like don't have as much of an attention span. They don't really care about it all, so it'll work. And I don't know how much this is made at the box office. Probably made a ton because the first one made a ton. Yeah. So you know what? I'm just talking to a wall right now, and all of my complaints are just on deaf ears. But it's just what I thought. Yeah. I thought the film didn't need to do anything else, but it could have. It could have, and it could have been better. But if their goal was to just make that film, kind of whatever it was, like just quick, fast mini stories and a lot of nice visuals, then they did that.
It sounds like it's exactly what I would have expected it to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably one of those movies that's like, it's good to use as reference whenever you like, buy a new TV and you want to take it for a spin.
It's great as that. Still though, like with everything negative I said, the film looks so pretty.
Yeah.
It's so nice to look at, and I thought there were times in the film I was like, can't be bothered watching this. Like, this story is just so whatever. But then like, it's also like Super Mario Galaxy. So I don't know if you played the game, but
yeah,
it is like in space for a lot of it. And you see all these backdrops that are just so brilliant, like brilliantly pretty to look at. I thought, you know what? It's worth it. I was like, I'm happy. I'm happy. I don't think it'd be as good at home.
Yeah.
So you can't do your ghetto gold class.
Well, I've got a nice OLED TV and I've got surround sound and,
yeah, maybe it'll work out. But I think for the best experience for Super Mario Galaxy, especially since the film isn't the most like stimulating for your mind, the visuals are what really matter. So you should watch it at the best TV possible.
It is interesting that it's not more engaging because, like, obviously, it's Mario, it's for kids, but Super Mario Galaxy is very like an our generation.
Yeah,
thing.
that like a lot of kids probably haven't played it, or even the second one.
Well, I think they've done re-releases on Switch and stuff like that. But we were the peak age for Super Mario Galaxy.
Super Mario Galaxy came out when we were probably near 8 or 7 even. Potentially,
just young teenagers. And just like, that's kind of, I don't know. I guess.
Dude, it's over 10 years old. Like, it's well over 10 years old. So a lot of the target audience may not have even been born for this film.
Yeah. So you would think that like maybe they would try to make it a little more, and it's not like it's impossible. There's so many cartoons these days that are like they ride that line so perfectly of for kids but also for adults. I mean, I think that's what cartoons have been so good at for forever. I don't think it's a particularly new thing. But then it's a bit disappointing that they didn't try, or like they didn't get that kind of writing.
That's the feeling I tried to like explain. It was the disappointment that, they didn't have to do it, but they very easily could have done it, and it could have been fun to see that as well. Because we do get, Pixar films that try and push that. Oh yeah, here's this underlying story to it, and also, little dumb fun for.
Well, like the Spider-Man movies, like a great example. I mean, we're comparing like, the absolute peak maybe the best example
of animation,
but it can be done. No, I would actually maybe a way better comparison is like K-pop Demon Hunters. I think is
that
one
is a better
that
comparison.
Is actually just great, even if you are an adult. As long as you have a little bit of joy and whimsy in your soul, you can get behind it.
Yeah, because a lot of that film has like, if you just skim through it, it's just like fun visuals and songs that are poppy and like, here's a cute animal and a cute little bird with weird eyes or whatever. But then you watch it and it's actually about like acceptance and like the demon inside you coming out and like showing who you are. And
I think it was just so clear to me, like, so quickly, like when you're watching that film, you can just tell that the creators like cared. And I think that's just something that is hard to put your finger on. Like, it doesn't have to just be themes or dialogue or whatever it is, but the same thing with the Spider-Man movie and K-pop Demon Hunters and like those kinds of films where it's like you watch them and you just know that the people that made them actually put their heart into it. And then so when you have stuff like that coming out, and then there's something like Mario, which is like so beloved by absolutely everyone, it just feels like a great opportunity to like, they could have then made it a fantastic film that everyone goes, oh yeah, the Mario movie. Like, that's one of those classics, especially because there is no demographic that would be against it. Like K-pop Demon Hunters, there's all these people who are like, oh, I'm sure it's good, but I'm not watching that.
Yeah.
But like Mario, everybody's happy to watch Mario. Like, everyone can get behind that.
I think that's like another thing, right? Everyone kind of, or like you get into this sort of negative mindset about the film thinking they may have just accepted or known that everyone would watch the film, so
Yeah.
not try as hard, which is kind of what makes me a bit sad. Like, oh, they knew they had an audience,
Yeah.
so what's the point of like, going back to the storyboard and like, oh, let's tighten this up a bit. Let's make the story like have a crux or like a running theme or something to like hook the audience in more. Think about it after. Like you don't walk out of the cinema after the Mario movie thinking, oh, I'm like so happy that they did this. I wonder what they're going to do next. How will they push the envelope? I walked out thinking, wow, those are some really good visuals. I'm happy I watched it in the cinema. That was generally, I didn't hate it. I would not rate this movie below a 5 or something crazy like that. Like it was still an enjoyable time in the cinema. But
great movie to watch if you're in another country and don't speak the language.
You would probably have almost as good a time. You would probably have almost as good a time. But yeah, a bit sad. Anyways, back to the other films that I watched. So we talked about this the other day, 100 Meters. I watched that movie this year.
Yep.
Maybe I'll go through all the animated ones. And then we'll go to real live action with proper film. Snobs later.
They're real cinema, not that fake animated stuff.
Turns out 100 Meters is the only other animated film I watched this year.
Which we did already kind of talk about.
Yeah. That's surprising. Didn't Demon Slayer come out this year? No, that was last year.
Demon Slayer?
Infinity Castle?
Oh,
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Because like for the anime films that have come out recently, it's Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man. Maybe they were bought last year. Yeah, they must have been bought last year. I've just forgotten that they were. So let's go through this. This is all chronological. The first film I watched this year is called Even If This Love Disappears Tonight. Then I watched 100 Meters. Then I watched War Machine. It was on Netflix. It's we'll get into it later. Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man.
Okay, yeah.
Honey Don't. Project Hail Mary. Super Mario Galaxy. Arrival. Reign Over Me.
Oh, Arrival.
Legion. The Greatest Beer Run Ever. And Mortal Kombat 2. Those are all the films I watched this year.
Okay.
How many of them did you recognize?
Quite a few of them. Not all of them.
The first one was a Korean film.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll just run through the plot with you. Because this is, I don't know if you've noticed this I think we may have talked about it in the first episode of the second, about how Korean film and Korean like dramas are so incredibly different. Because you get like Parasite as a film.
Yeah.
And then you get K-dramas that are like lovey-dovey and the story ends happy.
Yeah.
But then the movies are just like so crazy sometimes. So this film, while I was watching it, I thought, oh, this is like the K-drama. Like the K-drama vibe of things are gonna work out. So this film it's basically it's set in high school, kind of like 50 First Dates. So this girl had an accident. I can't remember if it's an accident or like a genetic disorder, but she loses her memory every night. She loses her memory every night, and she writes in a diary to try and remember what she's done. If you think about the story too much, it doesn't make sense. Like, how is she getting through school? It doesn't like imagine she's writing everything she learns in school every day in her diary so she can pass the class. It doesn't really make sense. Like, I tried not to think about it while watching the film. Anyways, like she befriends a guy, or like a guy befriends her, like through like just circumstance. They slowly become friends. They go through school, and lots of stuff happens. This was a while ago when I watched it, and they finally like get into a relationship. The whole time, she's doing the diary thing, like so she remembers that she's falling in love with this guy.
Yeah.
They finally get together.
That she's falling in love.
Yeah.
Just remember this one.
She wakes up every morning. She reads a diary, so it's kind of funny thing. Oh yeah. Oh, I love this guy.
Yeah.
So they finally like consummate their relationship. And then all of a sudden she wakes up and it's like years later. Because like she loses her memory every day, right?
Yeah.
Years later, and she's got no idea who this guy is.
Yeah.
She sometimes remembers his face, so you're thinking, oh, maybe she'll get a memory or something like that. But he's gone. He's like totally out of the picture in the film. Her best friend like doesn't bring her up. Her best friend's boyfriend also never brings him up, but you know that all four of them are kind of like friends. Turns out he died.
Spoiler,
Which is like
spoiler alert.
Sorry. I doubt you would watch it, but I won't explain just how crazy this film is. The whole time, she wasn't the only one with this like disorder or whatever. He had a heart problem the entire time when he was going to die. And he knew he was going to die from like the start of the film. And he was also trying to avoid getting close to this girl for like the majority of the film, but then they just ended up falling in love anyway. When he was going to die, or like a week before, he had gotten her best friend to remove her like all the pages in her diary about him out. So she lost her memory or like anywhere to recollect about it, and then removed all the pictures and stuff about it. And the saddest part is, like, this movie doesn't need to be any sadder, right? The saddest part is, early in the film, you learn that this guy that has passed away, his dad, who has been raising this kid, like with this heart problem, also lost his wife to the same heart problem. And like there's this like bit earlier in like the film where like it's really sad, like, oh yeah, this father's like, you know, kind of sad. He's like kind of lost his like love for his job, which is art, because he's lost his wife. And then he's kind of getting back in the groove, and then you know later on in the film, this guy dies as well. It's so incredibly sad. I don't know why Korean movies always do this, but yeah.
They
so
go for the emotions.
they really, and they only know one emotion, and it's just like horrible feelings. Okay, then 100 Meters. War Machine was a Netflix film, which I think it's Alan Ricketson, the guy that plays Reacher now.
Right.
He was also in a film. He was in the Titans TV show. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about. It might not matter, but he is a big fella.
Yeah.
War Machine is a war movie, I guess, but
also a machine movie.
It's basically like this like army group that's doing like a not like a trial or like, you know, a training session or like a live-ish training session where they have to go from point A to point B in like the wilderness of America. But get this, meteor crashes into Earth. It's an alien robot. It's a big alien robot, and it is just trudging through, and it is basically going like Terminator mode on everything and just like decimates all these like army people. And it's just Alan Richardson. He's the war machine, and he has to take it out.
All right.
Take out the giant robot.
Okay.
Good action, I'd say, but a bit silly. A bit silly.
And he forgets his memories every day.
Yeah, and every day he has to write in his diary, kill the robot.
It's a big robot.
You have to beat it.
Don't be alarmed.
Don't be alarmed. But you have to kill the big robot. Okay, then I watched Peaky Blinders, Immortal Man. Have you watched Peaky Blinders at all?
Yeah, so I've watched, I don't even know now, maybe the first couple seasons of Peaky Blinders.
What did you think?
It's one of those weird cases where I think I would, it's going to sound awful. I think
rather kill myself than watch Peaky Blinders.
No, not like that. I was going to say, I think I would have preferred it if I watched it on my own and not with Jade.
Ooh, hopefully she doesn't.
She knows this opinion. She knows this
really,
opinion
really?
because it's this strange thing where she was interested in continuing. I was also kind of interested in continuing, but I just didn't want to watch it with her.
That's so bad. I don't know if you're allowed to say that.
No, okay, I can explain. This happens quite a lot with a lot of shows. Generally, any show that is quite serious, or like especially shows that are more serious and dark than they are light. And Peaky Blinders is very just like serious and dark the whole time. The reasoning is that usually we watch shows together when we eat dinner, and we eat dinner and then kind of pack up and go to bed. So like we watch one episode and that's it. And so when we're trying to actually get through a show, if it's just really deep and dark, it just sort of feels miserable because it just feels like,
okay.
you know, Jade comes home from work, would like get dinner ready and everything, and we sit down for dinner and we watch this miserable show, and then we just pack up and go to bed, and then repeat that every day to get through the show.
Yeah, I can empathize, I guess. That's a bit.
And so it's not like I didn't like the show, and it's not like I'm not interested. I was just like, I just want to watch something a little bit more lighthearted with you. That's like a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
And not at fault of not to the show's fault.
Yeah.
But just the scenario in which we would watch it.
I really think about it now. I don't know many couples that watch Peaky Blinders. Like a lot of the people that I'm like close with that have like also expressed their love for Peaky Blinders have all been single people. So maybe it is a good show to watch and just like stew in the sadness.
I've gotten used to, like, I guess because of that feeling, I've just grown to prefer if it's a real serious show, I'm just like, I'd rather just watch it on my own. Like, do you know the Pit?
Yeah, I know of the Pit.
Yeah, you haven't watched any of that.
Watched it now.
So the Pit is really good. I would say like it's like fantastic. I think it's probably easy to say, and I would say that probably anyone that has watched it would maybe agree that I think it's probably the best like medical drama.
Oh yeah.
But it also, I almost wouldn't want to like, you call it a medical drama and people go, oh, okay. Like, because people.
So it's like Scrubs.
I feel like people have their opinions of medical dramas, but this is just so like, it's one of those shows that's of such good quality that it doesn't matter whatever your opinions are about medical dramas. It's like, yeah, you should watch it anyway. Like, it's just a really good show in its own right. You don't have to be into medical dramas to. You don't have to be, House MD's #1 fan to get behind it or whatever. It's just so well done. But it's one of those shows that, like, I know for a fact that's a show that I can only watch on my own. There's no way I'm going to sit down with Jade in the small amount of time we get together at the end of the day and then just watch this just miserable just like...
That's pretty funny.
Like, cause it's so raw and real, and it's like, just especially with most of those serious shows, it's like they're ongoing series, and so you watch episode after episode, and so then it just feels like every day is like that. Whereas when you watch it on your own, you can kind of like, I don't know, binge it and whatever. Like I can watch a few episodes, but when you're just watching one episode, sometimes not even that. Like a lot of the time, we only watch half an episode at dinner. And so you stretch it out, and it's got to have a little bit more light in it. That's why we're like so bad at watching good, just like drama or whatever it is, like more serious shows, because we just always gravitate towards like a reality show or a comedy show or something. Because
what are you guys watching right now?
Well, actually, we're watching For All Mankind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which is my favorite show of all time.
Really? That's cool.
I'm rewatching it with her because the new season, I think, has just come out, and I haven't seen the new season. She hasn't seen any of it, so I'm rewatching the whole thing. And we've been watching it for quite a while. We've been good. We've kind of stuck to it, and we haven't gone on like a reality show bender. We've been getting through the seasons. But I think it's easier with this show because it balances the mood quite well. There are real like serious and emotional moments, but it's also light and it has its funny moments and all that kind of stuff. And so it's like, we can commit to shows, more serious shows, as long as there's a good like vibe balance.
Right.
Something like Peaky Blinders is just like so heavy.
Yeah, it's a heavy film. Heavy film and show.
I'm interested in this like trend at the moment, like on that Peaky Blinders thing. I'm interested in this trend of the show movies. Like Peaky Blinders did it, but I feel like, Demon Slayer walked so that Peaky Blinders could run. Or Demon Slayer ran so that Peaky Blinders could
walk.
Yeah, like jog or I don't know.
Waddle along the same path. Yeah. It's I don't know if many people have ever put Demon Slayer and Peaky Blinders in one sentence together before. But hey, you've heard it here first on this podcast. It has become a bit of a trend in anime. In TV shows, Breaking Bad did it. I don't know if you remember, there was like Aaron Paul starred in I can't remember what it was called. I wasn't interested enough in what that movie was going to be about for me to watch it, so I never watched it. But it's set a bit in the future, and Aaron Paul's character does some stuff.
Right.
I didn't really care. But yeah, Breaking Bad did do a film after the Breaking Bad.
The Demon Slayer ones are like, whatever the trend is at the moment is so interesting though, because it's like it is just straight up more of the show.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely it's all canon as well. So it's all part of what the manga does, and they've at the start when they started doing it, they were like, oh yeah, we'll put the movie out, and then let's also just do it again in the anime. But now they've gone, nah, it's just the movies. So Chainsaw Man did it with Reise's arc. That I don't think they animated it again for the TV show. And what else? Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen has, it really made a lot of sense for JJK because the movie they put out was the prequel manga, which is just one volume that was initially published before the the author wrote the main story. So that made a lot of sense for them to make that film. But I think they're going to make another film later on, which will be like one of the big fights in the show. So it should be like one big fight as a film.
You just have to at the moment, because if you're an anime studio, it just seems like such a great way to cash in. And,
there's so much money there. So much, and it's easy money. And also I think the audience doesn't, once the audience gets more used to it, I don't think they'll mind it, because they do get the hype and also the quality as well.
Yeah.
Like you're getting a really, really, really good thing. I don't know if it's pain, but like the hope is so strong that it's become pain that I want them to make a One Piece film like that, where but
all the One Piece films are all like,
all of the One Piece films are basically non-canon. Lately, they've been sprinkling in canon hints, so not actual stuff in the manga, but stuff in the film was written by Oda, and then Oda kind of repeats it in the manga later. So it's like you watch the film and you like kind of know what's going to happen in the manga later down the line. But there's like last year there was this incredible flashback. When I say incredible, in the manga.
Okay.
An incredible flashback of a war, and how amazing this flashback would be as a film. I can't describe how good it could be. So do you know some of the characters from One Piece? Like Gold Roger?
Yeah.
Whitebeard.
Well, I'm like hundreds. How many chapters are there?
There's 1,100-ish. 1,000, almost
probably like 600 chapters.
Yeah, so then you know who Whitebeard and Roger are. And then you know who the Yonko are. The 4 emperors. It's like people like Whitebeard. People on that level. Yeah. So basically this flashback is when they were in their prime. Like when they were young and in their prime. And a war happens. And you see it. And it is so crazy, like the stuff that gets revealed in this war and the fights themselves and these like people that were hinted at in all these different arcs in One Piece all kind of sort of appear. Have you watched up to like Gecko Moria when they go to that like Halloweeny island? Zombies and stuff are there, and
maybe not.
It's before the Marineford War arc.
I know.
Because if you had 600-ish, then 600 is probably past Marineford from memory.
It's been like I genuinely think it's been probably a year and a half since
you last.
Since I've touched it, and so
you don't even know what you're up to.
Refigure out what it is that I'm up to, which I've actually. So if we weren't doing this podcast and if we didn't make this weekly thing where we talk about media and everything, I think I had this plan. I want to know your thoughts about it. I had this plan, and I guess I don't actually know enough information to know whether this would even work. But you know how now that at the very least there is a poster and release date for the One Piece Netflix.
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah, they're like
The
actual
One Piece.
the One Piece, the actual animated thing.
By Wit Studio.
Yeah. My plan was to just drop One Piece and then just pick it back up with that, and then just follow it with that.
It'll take you so much longer.
No, but surely the pacing is like way faster.
The pacing will be faster, but the actual episodes coming out will be slower. Because I think they're putting out East Blue, and it's taken them 2.5 years since they announced it. So you're probably going to get to, I don't know, like Alabasta in like 2030. So what's the point?
Well, the point. Look, I don't know about who knows about the pacing. Like, it depends how popular the thing is. I guess, like if it becomes super popular, I have a feeling they would try.
They might push
make
it a
work
bit faster. Yeah.
But also, if it was popular, I think then that would be the why, because then you could kind of have this. It's almost like a global rewatch party where everyone kind of goes, oh, I'm up to this. And then you can actually be up, in quotations, up to date with at least one
version of One Piece.
Yeah, well, there's already two. Because
the live action,
yeah. Or I guess it's actually more than two. You would have, I guess, technically, you could have 4 or 5.
If you're counting the manga.
Hold on, because you could have the Japanese release of the manga. They're at the front. Then you would have the English translation or scanlation or whatever.
Yeah, which is like a
day
behind.
Just behind.
Like a day or two behind.
But I guess for big things, for big events, that actually does matter. Like if it's something big's going to happen, you might stay off Twitter or something like that. And then behind that would be probably
the official release.
Official English release.
So that's probably like 4 days. 4 days behind as well.
And then way behind that is the Japanese anime, and then there would be the dub of the anime.
That's 5. And then you have One Piece, the live action.
Yeah, I guess.
So
true.
6,
so I guess they count.
Yeah. they kind of count. They're doing their best. They kind of, I don't know if you'd call it a cousin or a second cousin once removed. Something like that.
So it would be fun then, either way, whatever. It would be fun then if it became very popular to then kind of, along with everyone else, follow the the release canon. But maybe you're right. Maybe it would just take way too long.
So long. I know that I'm expecting it to be really good, but based on the announcement, they're only adapting East Blue for this first season with 9 hour-long-ish episodes.
9 hour long.
9 separate 9 separate hour-long episodes.
They're really long episodes.
So I think they'll be able to. It's almost the same as like the One Piece live action season 1.
Yeah,
basically. 9 episodes of that, and then the anime will be able to get through it like a bit better and show a bit more. But look, it'll be good. But if they only come out with like best case scenario, one of those seasons every year, which I can't imagine them doing more than that because they're hour-long episodes unless they cut down on the time.
Yeah.
The season after that, it'll follow the pacing of live action, as in like the amount of content that they can do in a season. If they come out every year, it'll be about 50 chapters. 50 chapters a year. There is 1,200 chapters. They're not going to get there very, very quickly.
Yeah.
It'll be a long time.
Instead, I just got to get back on the.
I reckon you gotta read it. That's the fastest way. It's the fastest way to get it.
But do you know of the One Piece project?
Yeah, I do know of it.
Yeah. So when I was kind of whatever it was, a year and a half ago or something. I was still living in this house, so it was somewhat recently.
Yeah.
On the One Piece grind, I was like flitting back and forth between One Piece and then just reading the manga. I was kind of going back and forth. So like at lunchtime, I would like watch the watch One Piece and then look at the chapter conversion and then
Yeah.
keep reading, later that night.
So One Piece was obviously not for me because I was already up to date.
Yeah.
But if I could redo it all, I would do One Piece. But if I could recommend anything to anyone watching that's been thinking about One Piece, it would be read the manga because it's fastest, but then watch One Piece for the fights. Because you're probably gonna have, or watch the actual anime for most of the fights, because One Piece does try to be as faithful to the manga as possible, whereas some of the best fights in One Piece, the studio goes above and beyond. Very recently, with this might sound like gibberish to you, but there's this arc called Wano. In Wano, there are 2 fights other than Luffy's where Zoro and Sanji have their individual fights with the second and third guys on the crew, and the studio goes crazy for Zoro and Sanji. Like, they do all these cool extra scenes, extra clashes, fighting, animation wise as well. It's way beyond what the manga can do. When One Piece adapts that, I don't know if they have already or not, I can't imagine it'll look anywhere near as good, because really, if they're trying to be faithful to the manga, they'll cut it all. They'll cut all of it. All the cool flames you see.
I don't know what their philosophy is, whether they just stick completely to the manga or whether they go, but this is worth it.
Yeah. I think,
to be honest, I think most of the time it was just complete fluff that they cut out. Or especially like the rehashing the thing that happened 3 minutes ago, and
that saves a lot of time already. Yeah.
But also, the episodes would like vary in length wildly, because some episodes just do a very good job of just sticking to what needs to happen, and then some are just complete fluff, and so it's kind of like it was a bit all over the place. But I found it pretty good. I enjoyed it at one pace.
Yeah.
You say the manga is quicker. I've found One Piece to be one of the slowest manga to read.
Really?
Because I swear the like words per panel on One Piece is higher than like any other.
Dude, you have not read Hunter x Hunter, but
no, I haven't read it. No.
I can. I don't know if I can agree or not based on the manga. Maybe because I've read manga with more words, but I can kind of see what you're saying. Yeah, there's a few chapters here and there where you do get a lot of dialogue, but then there's some chapters where you get nothing. But that's,
some
it just
chapters,
happens, right?
We were talking in the last episode about the different obsessions that we've had, and I was saying that phones is one of my obsessions. And so I always like, when I'm researching new phones, one of my like tests that I do in terms of just sizing, if I'm buying like a different format, like a different size of phone, one of my tests that I do is in Photoshop, I'll like pull up a manga panel and kind of compare the size of it to the size of whatever phone I'm considering. And I always use One Piece pages as examples, because some of the text
spreads.
But not just the double spreads, even the just single panels. Like some of the text, there's so much text that it gets so small that it's like, all right, it's like the One Piece check. I need to check whether I can read a page of One Piece,
which
on
I will
this
never
phone.
read, but I'm going to check anyway.
I think my relationship with One Piece is so strange because it is just like, it is. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like I have this weird like toxic relationship with it, where I get really heavily invested, or maybe I'm the toxic one, and like I like love bomb them, for like ages, and then I'm like I get over them. Get over them. I'm like, sorry, I just it was just a fling, and then
you were cool for a while, but I think I'm gonna look at other manga now.
It's like, I think the type of storytelling, it's like the type of progression is I think different to other types of stories, where it's like the overarching story, it's like you have to somehow care about whatever the like, I guess the arc is. I feel like aside from whatever else is going on, because to me One Piece always feels like they pause everything to do this arc. And so you need to kind of care about this arc and not be concerned about what else was going on. It's like, you know, when you're finding out about Ace and you're like, oh, something's happening with Ace. And then it's like, yeah, but now we're going to go do this other thing for like a whole entire arc. And you just have to like, it's like they set up so many of these like slow burn story elements.
Yeah.
And then just ignore them while we're like, all right, but we're going to get a new buddy. Get a new buddy onto
That's
the
such
onto
an
the boat.
interesting like statement you made. I'd love to dive into it though, but maybe not on an actual One Piece episode. Just to like nip that though, like as in so we can put a pin in it and come back to it. The story does do that a lot, but you will find that in between arcs, Oda does this thing where he'll spend like 3 chapters and he like updates what's happened in the world while the Straw Hats have been doing this. So like with Ace, you hear, oh yeah, Ace is currently dealing with this thing and he might be captured. The Straw Hats go to Skypiea. The Straw Hats are in Skypiea and they're completely cut off from the world because like there's no communication between Skypiea and then when they come down from Skypiea, you get an update again. Oh, Ace has been captured. Marineford might be a thing, or like you get the idea that Marineford might become a thing. And then the Straw Hats go to another place. They don't even know what's happened to Ace yet. They go to the other place. They find out about Ace. Then like they get attacked, split up, and then Luffy has to decide, oh, does he go get the Straw Hats or does he go to get Ace because he just learned about it?
I think
that's kind of how Oda does it. He like sprinkles these things, lets them grow over time. But I think because he has the luxury of having written this story for so long that I think he also expects the reader to be like, look, you know, the world is kind of large and you can't expect everyone to know what's going on, like as in the characters, to know what's happening everywhere unless they read the newspaper, which most of the time the Straw Hats, most of them can't read. Like, so like, yeah, sometimes they get updates and they think like, oh, we need to do something. And sometimes they're just kind of going on their adventure and you have to wait until the in-between arcs part where Oda just updates you in like 3 to 4 chapters. Here's what's happened in this part of the world. Here's what happened in this part of the world. Here's what happened in this organization. These are the new bounties and these are the Yonko.
I think this is probably why I come and go with One Piece, is because it feels like every arc, like Oda has to like convince me again to like, it's almost like, all right, well, here's the whole new topic. And it's like, it's got to resell it to me. And I was like, oh, I just like, you know, felt like I was invested enough in the last one. And now that's completely got vibe shift. And now we're a whole new kind of thing going on.
It's cool that you're like that because at the start of the arcs is like almost a really exciting time for me because I'm going to like see this new place, meet these new characters, and I hope I like them. Because sometimes even I don't really like all the new characters that I introduced or the places introduced. But over time, you know, Stockholm Syndrome's like working its way at me. I'm like, oh, I actually love this. Like, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of everything he's doing.
I guess maybe like a weird way to think about it is that it's like each arc is kind of like its own story. Yeah. And then there's like this ongoing...
There's this thing that's happening outside of the island there.
Yeah.
And you have to like know it's happening, but kind of like be like, oh, it's not that important right now. Let's let the story happen here. Because you know at the end of the story, when the Straw Hats need to leave the island, they will probably, or at least you will probably learn about what's happened outside.
But I guess I also find that most of the time the stories... they just feel like kind of like just rudimentary. Like it's like, oh, I'm a big mermaid and I'm locked at home. And then
you've gotten to post time skip. Okay.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, it would just spend the whole arc trying to help him out. And it's
again,
just like,
this is something that I wish we could really dive into. Like we do like a proper One Piece thing because there's so much in Fishman Island that I wish we could like dive in. But yeah, on the surface level, it is Shirahoshi locked into that thing. But there's the whole like racism thing, and then you get to hear the backstory of her mom, how she wanted to do all that stuff, and then the world nobles came down from the upper world, and then almost convinced by Queen Orihime to like let the fisherman be part of the upper world.
Yeah,
but then a terrorist
So I
comes,
remember,
kills her.
I remember.
And then, it's just I said I didn't want to get into it, and I'm like already explaining everything. Let's put a pause. We're gonna go into One Piece too deep.
But on that, we keep saying, all right, One Piece episode. I really think the the 2 piece One Piece episode, the 2 pieces One Piece episode, surely we book it in for when I catch up.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
And maybe what I'm saying now is like, all right, I'll start trying. I'll get the engine running again. And
do you think we should do it until you're caught up? Because that would be a good conversation to have. But for one, it might take you a while to catch up, because like if you're at Fishman Island, you still have about half the story to go. And I think even if you were caught up, say tomorrow, it's not like we can talk about everything. It's like we'd have to like talk about it multiple times, different aspects of the story, what you liked, what you disliked. So maybe it's like more fun to like have a little One Piece corner every now and then.
Touch in on it.
Touch in on what you're reading currently.
Yeah.
Maybe after every 2 or 3 weeks, if you've read maybe 20 chapters.
But is it going to be kind of just spoilers for people then, compared to just the One Piece episode, then the One Piece fans, then we can actually get into everything.
True. Yeah, maybe it's better. But, that might be 2028 when we have a One Piece episode.
I can get through a bunch. I just gotta turn it on.
Yeah. Turn on the One Piece brain. But it will be fun.
Yeah, anyway. I'll save my deeper thoughts then for that.
I will try to save.
But that was just a little sampler
of what our future One Piece content might be. All right. So after the Peaky Blinders film, I watched Honey Don't, which was an artsy film.
Okay.
I don't really know how to describe it. It was like sort of a detective film where there's like a mystery of a person that was murdered that this detective is trying to solve, and I don't know. I don't know if I can recommend it or I can't. It was okay. I don't regret watching it, but I thought they were kind of going for a bit of a shock factor with the reveal. So by the time of the end of the film, I was like, yep, that was a film. I don't know. Maybe you've seen films that have made you have that same reaction.
My honest opinion about movies is that if you get to the end and you go, I don't regret the time I spent watching it, I feel like that's all I really hope for in a movie.
You have had a tough life, man, if you're thinking like that. As long as you don't want to end it right there, you've had a good time. That's basically what you've said.
No, I always say this line, and I realize it doesn't make much sense. I always say, I have no time for movies. I don't mean that literally. I don't mean that I don't have the actual time. I just mean that, like, personally, I don't give movies the time. Because it's like, it just feels like, what, you're asking me for 2 hours? You want 2 hours? Like, I can try a first episode of something, and then if it's good, then it's got so much more to offer me. But a movie is like, it's 2 hours, and then you spend the whole 2 hours, then you come to the conclusion, and then you go, and if it was good, then that was it. And then if it was bad, you're like, well, I just wasted 2 hours.
So like you can look at it that way, but you can also look at it the other way where you might have wasted 1 hour in hopes of something better down the line. Or you got a 2-hour product, a finished product, hopefully, that whether it's good or bad, at least you have some thoughts on it. And it's not like there was another piece. Because like with TV shows, you watch a 1 hour episode of maybe an 8-part series. It's never going to be a finished product. Whether you watch it and it's good or bad, maybe the hook or like the thing that really gets you truly involved with the show is in that second or third episode. And you had a bad time with the first one. And then you don't get to enjoy this awesome thing.
Yeah.
Because you dropped it at the first episode because it wasn't very good.
Yeah, but I don't like having to watch the entire thing to make up my mind. Like, I feel like that's what a movie asks for. I guess there's trailers, but I don't know. I'm kind of I'm kind of an anti-trailer person. I don't like seeing trailers.
I'd like to be an anti-trailer person, but I feel like the only way for me to know about movies coming out is by being sort of like blindsided by a trailer.
This is the way. This is how I go about it. You just don't watch enough movies that then you only watch the movies that you just hear heaps about. So it's like you let everyone else filter it out. And so you don't like, I don't hear what goes on in movies because I don't know, you just don't. But you hear people talking about the really good ones and you go, oh, okay, I guess I'll watch that. And then you don't even need to know what it's about.
Okay. So I guess I'm coming from a very different world where like I'm constantly in that, like, I want to know what the big films are all the time. I want to know what even like what's at the film festivals, whether it comes to cinemas or not. Like I kind of just want to know all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I can't live in that, let's watch the cream of the crop or what the most popular thing is, because I definitely have watched it, or if I'm not going to watch it, I probably would have read the plot because I know I'm not going to watch it or something like that.
Yeah.
I just need to know.
You have to be okay with missing stuff. And I'm okay with missing anything because I'm just not invested in movies.
Yeah.
Except for Project Hail Mary, I still really need to watch that. But that's because I've read the book.
You haven't watched it? Oh, okay. Well, speaking of Project Hail Mary, that's the next film I watched at the cinemas. Then I watched Super Mario Galaxy. Then I watched Arrival for the very first time, which is kind of an old film.
I have seen Arrival.
That was great. I really enjoyed it.
Arrival is one of the examples of a movie that I watched knowing absolutely nothing about it.
Someone was speaking about it?
Because it's one of my brother's like favorite movies.
Same reason I watched it was, I mean, I knew it was like a very, very popular film when it came out. And I, for whatever reason, I didn't watch it, but I knew it was so good. It was one of the films that I was like, I'm going to watch it eventually. So I try to stay away from the entirety of the plot and everything about, like, I eventually learned that, oh, it's aliens. But I was like, let's try not to learn anything more. People kept talking to me about it. I was like, I need to watch this film. And whatever week that was, I was like, all right, this is the time. I'm watching Arrival. And I was very pleased.
Was it the one with the eerie music?
I mean, it does have some eerie music. It's the one where she is passing out the alien language.
Yeah. Okay, in the big diamond.
It's a cave-ish room.
Yeah.
Inside their ship, and like all of the world nations are kind of also trying to do the same thing of learning the language at different times and rates. I think it's one of those films. I don't know what the best example of this is, but it's one of those films where I think, this is my opinion, and I think maybe the audience might be able to tell us if it's true or not, that different countries got a different version of the release.
Oh, okay.
Because, right, I know this has happened in different films before.
Yeah.
This one, there's a part where like Nicole Kidman? No, it's not Kidman. Who is it?
I don't remember.
Amy Adams. I think it's Amy Adams.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Renner. They are like in the main, like, you know, place with all of the analysts in the tent, and they're talking to the analysts from around the world, and Australia has like this massive screen, and like they have this entire conversation with like the Australian analyst, and I was thinking like, I wonder if this is just for me. Like, is it just because we're here? And then I was
Australia
like,
pandering.
Surely they wouldn't like, maybe there's a chance they just chose to have the Australian analyst there. But I know of films where they just like choose a different country to like show or like prominent for like very specific scenes. Sometimes I think in disaster films, they will show specific countries more in their own country. Like I think Independence Day is an example where they show the Opera House getting destroyed in Independence Day. I could be wrong, but this is a thing. I'm not making this up. This is definitely a thing. It's, imagine like everyone's like, you just made like, this is a Mandela effect, but just you. But yeah, so great film. Potentially, I've made this entire thing up about Australia having a prominent role. It's not prominent, but yeah. So after Arrival was Reign Over Me. Have you ever heard of this film?
No.
It is Adam Sandler and Don Cheadle in a very, very, very well acted drama about post 9/11 America, where Don Cheadle and
Where Changez
Jank, yes. For the people that did not watch whatever episode that was, where we started ranting about our books that we had to learn in our final year of
It
English.
was the Gacha Life episode.
Yeah, oh yeah, that made a lot of sense. Those are our most popular one, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So a lot of people have had to hear us talk about year 12 English novels for whatever reason in a Gacha Live episode. So in this story, they used to be college roommates in dentist college or whatever. And now Don Cheadle has seen him on the street and gone and connected with him again. And Adam Sandler's family passed away in the plane that crashed in 9/11. And it's this story of him having post-traumatic stress disorder and Don Cheadle kind of befriending him again after being apart for so long. And it's just
Right.
a great little story of such huge drama. And it's really sad and it's very, very heavy. Maybe you shouldn't watch it with Jade because if you want to get into it, definitely not a great film if you have only 2 hours and you want to have a good time after dinner or something like that. But yeah, great film. I would recommend it if you, I guess, are single. Damn. no, it's a good film. I recommend it.
Yeah.
Then I watched Legion. Maybe you've heard of this one. It was very popular when it came
I
out.
think you mentioned it
Yeah,
last episode.
yeah. And I
With the
would have said
angel
that
and
it's not worth it.
Am I making it up that is the original book is it the same? Am I making this up? Is it the same author as the Da Vinci Code?
I think you made that up.
Okay.
I have no idea if it is the same author as Da Vinci Code, but this film is about Christian, as in
Yeah.
God has decided that he's had enough. It's not going to be a flood this time. This time he's just going to wipe everything out.
Yeah.
So he sends the angels down to destroy all mankind.
Yeah.
And Michael, as in the Archangel Michael, realizes some kind of, I don't know, loophole. It's never really explained that if this one baby survives, then humanity has a chance of surviving. So he goes down to this random diner in the middle of Nevada or whatever and saves this pregnant lady from the first wave of angel attacks. And up till that point, this film is great. It's so action-packed and mysterious and cool and a bit epic. And then next 40 minutes are the most boring bullshit conversations with all these people you don't care about. It's so bad. Oh, one of the actors, you watched Tokyo Drift, right?
Yeah.
You know the main actor in Tokyo Drift?
Yeah.
That guy, he's in this film. He's one of the main guys in this. So it's so boring. It's just so boring. And then at the end, Gabriel, the Archangel, comes down. And then Gabriel and Michael have this fight. It's whatever. And then the movie ends and you're cool. It kind of ends there's going to be a new film after this. It doesn't get a new film. Look, this film, if they're going to make, if I really, it's, so I'm not religious, but I feel there's so much good law with law. We're going to get canceled for
It's good lore in the Bible.
Good law. There is such good law in the Bible, but not like the stuff that's obviously explained in the Bible, like the stories of the Pharisees or this whatever, that city being turned into salt, or Noah, or the Egyptian stuff that happened there as well. The Egyptian stuff. All of that stuff. I think those stories are kind of human grade. But then if you want to look at the almost mythic levels of coolness and epicness that you can have with angels, I think the comics do this really well. So in the DC universe, Michael and Gabriel and Lucifer, these are actual characters in the DC universe, and they do cool things in it. Have you heard of Sandman? It was a Netflix show as well.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So in Sandman has these 6 main characters, and they're conceptual beings Dream. They all start with D. Dream, Destiny, Death, Destruction, maybe. some other things.
Danger.
Danger. And then like delusion or something like that. These characters exist. And these characters are conceptual beings that just exist like because they exist. And they are at such a high level of like conceptual existence that the God, who is a character in DC, his name isn't God, I think it's the Presence in DC. He is kind of like the Abrahamic God and has sons like Michael and Gabriel, and they interact with these concepts because they're at such a high level. And I think those interactions are so like cool in like a fantastical way that film hasn't touched it, and film could touch it because film does touch it when it comes to like Greek stuff. It's like we have Clash of the Titans where you see like, oh yeah, some kind of cool god thing. Oh, have you watched Immortals? It's got Henry Cavill in it. This movie is like got like Greek mythological beings in it. There's this one amazing scene where Poseidon, he's sitting on Mount Olympus and he's trying to help Henry Cavill, who's like Perseus or Theseus or something. I can't remember which of those two Henry Cavill is acting as. I might be wrong on both accounts, who knows. Poseidon jumps from Mount Olympus and into the ocean, and it is like this incredible noise in the cinema that you hear, like this boom, like a bomb going off, and like the scene of like the tidal wave that gets created. See, you don't get that in just like whatever film, like, or even if it was like a normal Bible story, you're not gonna get this like fantastical superhero level being doing that. Even in superhero films, like maybe that's the ending scene, but this was just like, you know, the gods just doing it.
Yeah.
So like if we got like a cool movie, we're like, oh, you know what? Michael, the archangel, like the sword of God, he's whatever. Someone's written this film. This is like it's a movie idea. He has lost his favorite glove, and it fell into hell. So you see this film of Michael going all John Wick into hell, killing all these demons to go find his favorite glove or something. I don't know. I mean,
put it in the cinemas.
Yeah, but it's in the cinemas, and you get all these cool epic scenes, and then like maybe he has like this sit down, really dramatic conversation with Lucifer, like in his like throne room, like, yeah, look, I didn't want to step into your zone, but I really wanted my glove. And then like you see the other archangels like Ramiel and Gabriel, like, what are you doing, Michael? Like, come back.
It's
like,
just a glove.
It's just a glove. It's like, no, God gave me that glove.
You're right.
And then
I can see
he cuts a deal with Lucifer, like, look, okay, you can see the glove.
I feel like you put some thought into this.
This was off the dome, obviously, because this idea is ludicrous. This will come back to bite me like, oh, I should have come up with a better idea than losing his stupid glove.
It's gonna become like an ongoing meme.
Yeah.
It's Siobhan's movie about the glove.
I just make the story like more and more elaborate every week. Like Michael the Archangel and his glove. All right. Anyways, moving on from Legion, the film that could have been better. I watched The Greatest Beer Run Ever, which is based on a true story. Have you ever heard of this film?
I have heard of it. There's some info in it in the back of my head somewhere.
So Zac Efron acts as the main character, where it's this guy that kind of just a bit oblivious about world events. During the Vietnam War, a bunch of people from his town had like enlisted into the army to go and fight in Vietnam. And he, because of the type of person he was the type of person that was like, I'll do it, but then never ends up doing it. He lived his life a bit like that. And then he once states, oh yeah, I'll go and deliver beer to all of our friends in Vietnam so that they know that we care. And everyone like laughed him off, like he's not going to do it. So he decides to actually do it. So he goes to Vietnam somehow, and all these like, it's kind of funny how he gets through all of these situations, like to get to the point where he's actually in Vietnam and delivers beer to these people. Fun story. I did not regret watching it, but it's not that low already. It's like it's a good film if you have the time for it, I think.
Yep.
And the final movie I watched was Mortal Kombat 2, which I mentioned earlier. If you have watched Mortal Kombat 1,
it is Mortal Kombat 2.
This is Mortal Kombat 2. This film had very cool action,
Mm.
Story was a bit fast. Again, a film that could have been better, but at the same time, maybe it couldn't have because they had to hit all these beats to get to all the fights. And the
Yeah.
best part about the Mortal Kombat film or like any fighting game film will be the fights.
Yeah.
So if they tried to make the story better, there would be less fights. Or maybe the movie would be too long. So rock in a hard place.
Well, I guess like John Wick did it.
John Wick did do it. And John Wick is great.
But yeah, to be fair, I feel like that's like the greatest action series of
big
all
call, but very easily defendable.
time.
I can't think of many that an action film.
John Wick is like
There was nothing in here.
I
It's definitely
just
not War Machine.
feel like I do not watch action movies anymore
Yeah,
because I just like I don't know if I got time for just the same old thing. But John Wick is just I just know it's just going to be such a good time
yeah.
because it's just executed so well. The idea on paper is just fine. Like
I
it's
also
just meh.
think that like as opposed to Mortal Kombat or the Street Fighter film that will be coming out later this year, it's an original idea, so there's no like preconceived idea
Yeah.
of what the story should be or like where the character should go. Whereas with Mortal Kombat, the first film and this film, I knew what these characters are going to do because one, I've seen the animated films of like the story, and
Yeah.
also this film and the previous one. The previous one followed the animated one a lot, and this film followed Mortal Kombat 10 a lot. The story for that.
Right.
And like, I mean, it's not like, oh, I should have been surprised by the Mortal Kombat film and the story. Like, no one went into that film thinking, I want to be surprised by the plot of Mortal Kombat. But I think because they are trying to hit those story beats, once you start trying to hit the story beats, you kind of need to follow through. Like, oh yeah, I need to get the story to this point because if you start to veer off from that, then you can't do the cool things that happen in the game. Because like there are cool things that happen in the game that you want to show, like a specific fight, a specific move, or the interaction, because they are cool. See, as I said earlier, like rock in a hard place. You want to show the coolest things in this game in film format, but at the same time, maybe you're kind of on crutches because of it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Mortal Kombat, I went to this week. I went to. I was trying to make a joke here with speaking of Mortal Kombat. There is zero connection. It's like the way and the way
I'm gonna kill this joke.
the way.
There you go. There's your connection.
Yeah. The way better connection would have been, speaking of, I guess, the theaters.
Oh yeah.
I this week went to see a quartet.
Mm.
So nothing, not at all related to Mortal Kombat.
Is it Invictus Quartet?
No.
Okay,
It was
that's
one
the
of-
only quartet I know.
It was one of these candlelight ones. that they
Yeah,
do.
that's where I saw a quartet called Invictus Quartet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But maybe there's a multiple quartets that do this.
Yeah, I
candlelight
think
thing.
there are.
Yeah.
I think it's depending on the particular show that they do. It's different people. This one was I think his name is Joe Higashi.
Oh yeah, the guy that. His
Studio
oh,
Ghibli.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Studio Ghibli. So in other words, this was
Like
like
a tribute.
Yeah, this was like a quartet playing Studio Ghibli songs.
Mm.
And, you know, I've been to one of these quartets before. I went to one with my brother and we went and saw, they were doing a Hans Zimmer one.
Mm.
And because my brother's a huge Hans Zimmer fan, and I mean, and everyone is to some extent. And so I went and saw that with him. And I remember coming away going, a quartet's not enough for Hans Zimmer. It's like the sound is too big for Hans Zimmer, and it just feels a little thin. It's like no fault to the musicians.
But in the film, you got like the boom. Sort of
you need
echo,
something more.
Yeah, the bass.
But I went into this one going, I think this one might be a better bet because the Studio Ghibli songs, they're all very melodic and
and string instruments are kind of they're gonna sound very similar.
You don't need too much. I remember thinking coming from the Hans Zimmer one, it was just like if they just had like a big bass drum, at least a beat,
They just
like-
brought Skrillex in.
But this one I was pretty hopeful for, and it was like everything I wanted it to be, and just so much more.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's so good.
It was so good. I feel like I was just like sitting there like disassociating, like in a good way, where I was just like, I've never listened to music and like experienced this
That's
before.
so good. I'm so happy for you.
It was so cool to like, even the songs I didn't really recognize, because I think like they played one of the movies from the Kaguya something.
Oh
movie.
yeah, I haven't
And,
even
like,
watched that.
I haven't
know
even seen that one.
Princess from the Moon. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't even seen that one. And so I didn't recognize the song. And so even when they were playing songs that I didn't know, I was just like taken there, and I was just like able to, it was like just taken to such a place.
Yeah.
And then the songs that I did know, and you know, when they play like the Merry-Go-Round of Life from House Moving Castle, or whatever the one is, Chihiro's song or whatever from Spirited Away,
Yeah.
and things. When they're playing songs from the movies I did recognize, then it was like vivid in a completely different way, because then you're taken to the actual world of the
Yeah.
movie that you already know, and because you know that the composer has like they know like that's his whole job is to
Yeah.
write music that kind of fits this scene and this world and
Yeah.
everything. And so when you do have the image of the world in your head, it's like it's just amazing to just be kind of like taken there and appreciate the music specifically, like rather than it just being like a supporting character to whatever is
Yeah.
going on. It's like I just haven't experienced music in that way before. And I'm like a musical person. I like music. I play music and write music and all that. But like that was just like a very unique experience.
Yeah.
It
I
just-
really also wanted to go to, but not this candlelight thing, but there was one like another tribute to Joe Hisaishi somewhere else. But he has such an amazing way of making music. I recently bought a vinyl of his
Oh yeah.
full of songs I've never heard of before. But I was like, it's him.
Yeah.
So like it'll be something that will be so nice to have in the background of
Yeah,
my
yeah.
house on like on a weekend
Yeah.
while I'm drinking a coffee or something. So I listen to it all the time. It's so good. I have been to a candlelit one for anime music.
Okay,
once, and that was fun. I think anime music, like you're not gonna get anything that has like, you know, whenever you get an upbeat anime song which has like guitars or drums, because it's just like
Yeah.
violin or viola
Yeah.
and a not trombone. What's the big one?
Is it a double bass?
Yeah. So one of those was there. But you get the theme and you're kind of like having fun because it's anime music. It's not that deep.
yeah.
It's not that deep that you need to care that much about it. Whereas like the two that you've been to are both from like orchestral sort of things. So this anime one was kind of fun to just, oh yeah, here's the tune, I recognize it.
Yeah.
They played like Eva, they played they didn't play Dragon Ball. They played Demon Slayer music. All this, yeah. Rock the Dragon. I wonder if people have recognized that, like the original 4Kids, original 4Kids Dragon Ball Z theme song. You know the One Piece one, the original 4Kids One Piece theme song. It's like,
It's for One Piece. It's the name of the treasure in the grand line.
Yeah, it's so good. We're gonna get flagged because we're saying that.
We're so accurate.
It's like, my name's Zoro. Like his
Yeah.
name's Zoro. He's like a samurai. And Nami, she's not shy. Like, it's so goofy. But yeah, wow. We've gone through a lot. I didn't think I would have a through line of all the movies I watched this year for this entire podcast. But that we are now completely up to date. Maybe in like, I guess, October, we'll do another roundup of what movies are. Hopefully, I stick to one movie a week. I haven't watched one this week, though.
Speaking of sticking to things,
The
In the
anime. The anime.
we should clarify. We're going to come up with like a really quick way to explain this each week. But basically, we're doing this anime challenge where we have each chosen 6 shows to watch from the anime season and also been randomly assigned 6 shows. So there's 12 shows. Every week we watch each episode and then we get to ditch one show if we want to. And so it's going to be interesting to see by the end of the anime season what we end up with and what we don't. So what are your thoughts on this week's anime?
I have once again chosen a show to ditch. That I can say straight away. Basically, since we started this, I formed a plan. Like, how am I going to ditch all of these shows that I don't like?
My plan has changed.
Yeah, same. It's like based on episode. Like every week, I'm like, based on the order I watch the shows I don't like, I'm like, this is the one I'm dropping, and then the next one happens. Like, no, this is the one I'm dropping because it's giving me an aneurysm. So just before we get into like the ones like this is kind of turning into like a hate watch, so I want to talk about good things as well. I am still really enjoying Witch Hat, and I haven't mentioned these 2 shows at all in the last 2 weeks that we've actually been talking about the anime thing. We're up to collectively episode 4, and we're watching 5 this week. Yeah. So we've of every show, even the one we're dropping this week, we've watched it 4 episodes.
4 episodes. Yeah.
I am really enjoying Marriage Toxin and Kill Blue.
Okay.
They're both basically the same show for the most part.
Okay.
But so much so that I actually got confused between the 2 because I watched them.
Yeah.
I watched them kind of far apart from each other. I was like, wait, in Marriage Toxin, you're watching both of them as well, right?
No, I don't have Marriage Toxin.
Oh, okay.
I have Kill Blue.
In Kill Blue, the blonde girl is one of the people that the assassin is trying to protect, right? In Marriage Toxin, there's a part where the assassin guy is like protecting this girl of a college age, and the college age girl, her story with her parents, I put that onto the blonde girl in Kill Blue, and I was like, wait, what's just happening to this girl? Like, isn't her uncle like protecting her or something? And I was like, oh wait, no, Kill Blue is where that's happening. I mean, Marriage Toxin is where that's happening. I'm like genuinely confused. I don't know why they had to put these 2 shows out in the same season.
There's so many though. That's why I had to drop one of the shows last week, because the shows were so similar.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm still enjoying that, and I don't imagine myself dropping them at all because there's like no part of it that's irking me.
Okay.
At all. This week was the first time I got a little bit bored with Rooster Fighter.
Yeah.
Not dropping it. It's just this is kind of like they need to do something.
It's become like bad guy of the episode.
Yeah,
bad guy of the week.
I'm hoping because they've hinted at the major bad a couple of times now.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they get a bit closer to that. And this week I am finally dropping, following for the most part the plan, Second Prettiest Girl.
You're dropping it?
Yeah. It needs to go. It has lasted this long because it hasn't been so bad.
Yeah.
Like it's like a way better version of the first show I dropped, which was the I Love You game.
Yeah.
This is a way better version of that, but ultimately this show is just a bit boring to me. Like there's nothing really happening. I kind of see where it's going. There's somehow they're gonna get together, or maybe they won't, and who cares if they don't really? Because like, what does it mean to me? I don't really. I've got no stake in if these guys turn up as a couple or if they turn out to be friends. If I could do something though, if you want to watch a show like this, that's just in every way way better. McKinney or McCain, the heroine fails in the end, or all heroines. I'll send you a message later, and please edit it in to this part. It's great. It's a brilliant story, kind of similar in scope to this one,
right?
Where there's a couple of characters that have this like sort of inferiority complex to the prettiest girl or like whatever.
Yeah.
And I just want to mention in the second or third episode of Second Prettiest Girl, when the mother of the second prettiest girl turns up and it's just the same woman, I got so annoyed. And that has no bearing on why I dropped this show, but I just want to mention.
surely what would have added to you wanting to drop the episode is like at the end of the 4th episode, it's like the line that finishes the episode where she's like, now let me tell you something about my inferiority complex.
No, you won't. No, you won't tell me about you will not tell me about your inferiority complex because I think I can guess. I think I can guess what your inferiority complex. Oh, you've been best friends with her since grade 2, haven't you? I don't know. I'm not gonna find out, and you do not need to tell me next week. Anyways, for you,
well. I was gonna say, speaking on I guess it's always good to start on the good side of things. On the good side of things, I feel like obviously Witch Hat Atelier, as we keep saying, Atelier or whatever they call it. That's obviously one of the good ones, and I think it is sort of in competition with Daemons of the Shadow Realm.
Mm-hmm.
And Daemons of the Shadow Realm's been really interesting to me. I've been trying to put my finger on why it feels a bit strange, and I think it's that it kind of feels like a season 2.
Yeah, because there's a lot that's obviously happened beforehand, and I like that they're not explaining every little thing straight away. I don't mind it at all. Like how in one of them, I may have watched ahead to episode 5. I can't really remember, but I like how when they come into contact with the bad guys, they don't really seem that bad. Like they're not evil anyway.
Yeah, it's actually hard to tell.
And they have their own daemons. And like, does everyone have 2 daemons? I haven't really put my finger on if everyone has 2 daemons. And also like they're pretty strong and competent. I like that about enemies, like that they're competent.
It's all very just intriguing.
Yeah. And there's mystery. But they're not telling you it's a mystery. It's just you are figuring out for yourself that there is a bigger story at hand.
It feels like they're trying to give you the same experience as the main character. So you kind of have the information that the main character has and nothing really else. And you're just trying to put it together.
Yeah. And I like that the main character is also like highly skilled.
Yeah.
It's nice to see.
Yeah.
It's nice to see a skilled main character. One of the shows that I'm watching right now is also Snowball Earth, which I haven't dropped. This character is also highly skilled, but he is not.
You said socially inept.
He's socially inept to the point that it's like, as I explained last week, like you see that it doesn't make sense for him to have survived this long. Because there are points in this like high octane world of danger that you should be like acting, like you need to be acting to survive.
Yeah.
And he's highly skilled because like he is like the hero of Earth or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, dude, just do something. Like do it. Like it couldn't be that hard for you to like pilot this thing that you've been piloting for like 20 years. And then when you see Daemons of the Shadow Realm, he's in a brand new situation. He almost feels like he's an alien to like the new world that he's been ejected into. But he is coming to terms with it when it's action time. When it's not action time, he's like, wow, what's a toilet? What's a light? Like, what's a... You go, oh yeah, whatever. He's learning about the new one. But when it's like go time, he's like, yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Yeah. It's refreshingly feels a bit different than especially other like shonen anime and stuff like that. Like it just has a bit of a different vibe to it. I have been enjoying that. Liar Game has been interesting. So it's crazy that that's even got an adaptation because it started it came out so long ago, the manga, like 2005 or something like that. And it's interesting because I do think that it was one of the very early examples of these like death game kind of, and it's not necessarily death game. It's like just insane debt game.
Okay.
Like you get $1 million in debt or something instead of dying. But
right.
It's one of these game, intense game shows.
Before
stories.
the authors realize, oh, you know what? Let's just kill him. You know what? You die now.
If I have to guess, I imagine at some point it might kind of end up like that anyway. But I mean, who knows? And because I remember reading it back then, but I'm thinking back on it now because it was the first manga I ever read. I read it on the bus at school. Yeah, that's why I was so intrigued to watch the adaptation.
This is one you chose.
Yeah. But thinking back on it now, because you remember I was explaining to you how I was not a big reader.
Yeah.
And oh boy, was I not a big reader. Because I'm trying to think like what I remembered, and I was like, I think I would have read like maybe the first 4 or 5 episodes worth. No, not even. Sorry. Like the first like 2 episodes worth of this show I would have read. So I don't think I got very far at all.
Yeah. So you're
reading.
like, you're kind
I'm
of
already
like
past.
fresh. Okay.
I'm already past
Things are
whatever
fresh
I was
for you
reading.
now.
I'm pretty sure anyway. I mean, it's so long ago, so I don't know. But that has been good. I just think because it's such an early example of these stories, it's like it doesn't feel super fresh. Like it feels like we've seen this plenty of times. And honestly, it was probably one of the first ones to do it. But after already seeing everything else, it doesn't feel super unique.
Yeah. Okay.
But
yeah, because like the not the concept, but the medium of this like death game manga's probably gotten a bit more sophisticated.
Yeah.
In the last 15 years or whatever.
Yeah, and it's very much like there's these 2 protagonists, and there's the main girl, and she's very innocent, and then there's like the main guy, and he's like the genius. And I think the enjoyment of it comes down to like, you know, how does the genius manage to pull it off, and like, you know, what plan did he come up with and stuff like that. But like we've kind of seen that a bunch.
A lot.
And
yeah. Pretty much every.
Yeah.
Pretty much every one of these death game animes is like that.
So it's like, it's good. Like it's fine. We'll see how it progresses from here. I find it. Okay, so I have dropped something.
Can I try and guess?
Yeah, sure.
But I can't remember. Can you name all of the ones that you're watching right now? And then I'll see, because I have a couple of overlaps with you, right?
Yeah. So I'm watching, obviously, Liar Game, Witch Hat,
Demons,
Kill
Blue,
Otaku one,
Otaku,
Kill Blue, Second Prettiest Girl. How many is that? That's there
7 that you've named.
How many do we have at this point?
You've dropped 2 out of 12.
Oh my gosh.
But
okay,
that's 4 more.
There's clearly some very forgettable ones in the mix there.
Because you dropped Needy Girl and you dropped Wobble.
Oh yeah, I dropped Wobble.
I can try to bring up your list and I'll just name it for you. Eren the Southpaw, Rooster Fighter.
Yeah. What do you think I dropped?
So I don't know what's going on with Eren the Southpaw, but I remember you mentioning how you weren't that interested in what's going on with like the art and all that jazz. Then there's Gals, but I think you like the Gals anime, which for me so far has been more okay than Second Prettiest Girl, but not that much better. What else did you have? You dropped Haibara's New Life. You dropped Wobble. I'm just gonna say Eren the Southpaw. Did you drop Eren the Southpaw?
No. Eren the Southpaw is an interesting one because every episode I go into it going, I don't know if I really am interested in this. And by the end of the episode, I go, okay. And then it just has to kind of like reconvince me every episode.
Oh, really?
It's
an arc of One Piece.
Exactly. I'm honestly shocked.
You're gonna drop Rooster Fighter?
That you are saying you are gonna stick with Kill Blue.
Oh,
because
okay.
Never in my life has there been such a turn. I didn't mind the first 3 episodes of Kill Blue. I thought they were fine, if not like, I don't know, just a bit fine, like whatever. And then episode 4, I was like, what the heck am I watching? It comes out that I'm like, oh, okay. The entire premise of this show is who is going to date this high school girl.
Yeah.
And the main character is this, 50-year-old man in a child's body, and he's tasked with dating her.
So let me defend myself here. I don't think that's going to happen. That's how I'm going into watching. Because, look, it's ridiculous. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think he will solve his body problem. Or, yes, this is a waste of time. I don't like the show. I can't, because he still loves his child who's at the same age. I can't imagine him actually having feelings for this girl.
At the very end of the episode, he kind of says that, like, oh, I realize what these feelings are. It's the same feelings I have for my daughter or whatever. Which, that's all right. But the entire episode, I'm sitting there thinking, like, what are we setting up here? This is the strangest premise. We'd come up with, we have done, what is this mental gymnastics that we've done to come up with this story where it's like, okay, for this 50-year-old guy to pursue a high schooler.
I tried a lot to not think of it like some kind of wish fulfillment by the author that he's a really old dude and he's writing this story where he can date a middle school girl. So hopefully that's not what's happening. If I
it's
do,
middle school,
obviously if I get like the hint that he's actually falling in love with this girl, it's over for the show, and I won't be cutting anything else. I'll be cutting that. But so far,
and then there's
I hope not.
Then there's the other guy who's what do they call him? Babyface baby.
Yeah,
who's got the pacifier, and he's like his whole weapons is like a bunch of pacifiers. What am I watching?
I thought I didn't actually mind that. I thought this is just goofy anime fights. So I was like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
I think if that's what this first assassin level fight is, then because like they mention right in the episodes like, oh yeah, there's like the elite people or whatever. I'm guessing every one of these next few assassin fights will be just like truly ridiculous people, which I'm kind of excited for. Might be good fights.
I think I'm pretty sure I chose this. I think I chose Kill Blue to put on my list.
I think I did as well.
And it is like, in theory, like on paper, it's like I'm so down for it because it's like a bit of a spin on my favorite manga of all time, which is the Fable. And he's like the assassin, like he's like, you know, the best there is. And he's like this OP guy who's supposed to assume the role of a normal life. And it's like that premise is the premise of my favorite manga of all time. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to give this one a go. And then it just ended up, I guess the emphasis ended up different than what I was hoping for.
Yeah, dating in the middle school. I mean, I think before Fable, the first thing that came to mind for me was Full Metal Panic. I don't know if you even remember what it is, but it's a blue-haired girl. This assassin bodyguard guy goes into high school with her to protect her.
Right.
Yeah, it's more of a comedy, but that was a fun like anime back in the day. This reminds me a lot of that. Fun,
It also just like the first 3 episodes, I was already thinking about dropping it after the first 3 episodes because it just felt a bit boring.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of, the premise has so much going for it, and then I just found it a bit like meh. And then it's like, yeah, I love an overpowered character, and it's like, oh, how's that going to play out? He's like this really, you know, OP assassin, and then now he's here beating up middle schoolers. And then it's like the end of that episode, he like, oh, how did he survive not getting the pacifier in his mouth? And he's like, well, he already strung up a piece of string to stop the piece of wood. And I'm like, that's not satisfying. That's just
hopefully I'm happy that you're able to drop this because that means like the level of your shows aren't like killing you mentally. So it's good for you.
Well, this is what I was saying last week. I do think when we talk about what irks us in anime, I think it's different things.
Yeah.
And in the end, what we end up dropping is generally just going to be stuff that irks us or I guess just gets too boring.
Because like the silliness of the fight or like the premise of like how weird the characters are is not what irks me at all. But it's when it comes to like the way characters act in relationships, like how cute they are, even characters' voices pushes me. Like in Gal, which I haven't dropped, but I said it last week. The tan girl's voice, man. Oh, and you're watching the dub maybe, but just every time. You're watching the sub for that. Whenever she whispers into his ear, I am like,
I just spent the entirety of episode 4 of Kill Blue going like, what is this premise that we're setting up? And I was already finding it like a bit meh. And I was, because it was actually the last one that I watched out of all of them for these episode 4s. And I was kind of going into it going, I wonder what I am going to drop because there's nothing like standing out to me too much. And then as I'm watching this episode, I'm like, what is happening? And I'm like, okay, that's my decision.
Yeah,
but
it's easy for you then.
But I have an extremely high tolerance for like romance. And so like the second prettiest girl and the gal one and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
It's easier for you to pass.
yeah, and this one, it's like, well, I don't want this one to be a
Yeah.
romance because
That's so funny. I don't have, maybe, I don't know how to phrase it, but I don't have the same or as high or as low a bar. I
Right.
don't know, but what the height of the
you've got
bar
a
is.
higher bar for romance.
Yeah, so I guess I have a higher bar for romance. So I am having trouble watching them. The last one that survived so far is the gal one. I don't know how well it's gonna do. It's really between the gal one and Snowball Earth for me next week.
You would drop the gal one over a second. Oh no, you just
no,
dropped
I've already
Second
dropped.
Prettiest.
Okay, yeah, that's gone. That's
yeah.
gone. But because I've had a lack of this romance anime, I picked one up like from a previous season.
Oh,
What's it called?
extracurricular.
Yeah, extracurricular activity. It's called You and I Are Polar Opposites. Came out last season, and watch it. Watch it. Watch the first episode. If you have
Okay,
time,
yeah.
watch it. It is an romance anime without all of this stupid, random that the authors are coming up with
Yeah.
to make these characters like fall in love or have a gimmick or something. This felt like, yes, at the start of this show, you're like, oh, like it's a gimmick. Like, oh, this guy's the quiet nerd, and this is the outgoing, like, otaku-ish girl. But then you actually watch, it's like, oh, it's nothing like that. These people are normal. Like, they actually like act and think normal. And that
Right.
what really like hooked me onto the show was, I can't remember the second or third episode, where it's a side character, and the side character you saw his internal thoughts. I was like, there is no way this show can be that bad, really, because of how much thought they put into this side character's thought process.
Right.
It's like they must care a lot about this story.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'd say if there's more than a minute collectively of side character thought in the I Love You Confess anime over the 12 episodes, which I'm not going to watch, I would be amazed. Amazed of internal monologuing from side characters from that anime. Because that was horrible. That was a horrible time. But yeah, I guess that's our anime roundup for the week. We will see what happens next week. Do you have much that you think is on the chopping block still for you? Or are you like kind of like, you think things have settled down?
It's really hard because when I look at it objectively, I feel like I would be happy to cut it down to like 4 shows or something like that. But as I keep saying, every episode in, it's like I become slightly more invested.
Yeah, because you put so much time into it.
Yeah, and it's like you because you're forced to like get through these like meh parts. Then you kind of like, I don't know, I guess I maybe want to see how this ends up. And so like something like the Second Prettiest Girl one, it's like at no part has it been a show that I'm like looking forward to watching. But like
Thumbs up is crazy.
But I do wonder because I'm probably dropping other shows first, or I don't really know. I actually think from here it's going to get tough. And then it's going to come down to individual episode performance. It's
Yeah.
like, is this show... I'll be really interested to see when we get to the point where, first of all, one of us doesn't drop a show that week. And then if we drop a show after, like it'd be very interesting if we pause.
Oh yeah, like we skip a week of dropping and then
Yeah.
something actually irks us enough too. So for me, the reason I'm dropping shows is so that, one, there's no enjoyment in it, and I know that me doing this is kind of a task that is cutting away time from me like enjoying my other hobbies in my life.
Yeah.
So it's good that Formula One's been on break for like a couple of weeks now, because if Formula One was on, I'd be like, oh, I need to watch a stupid anime. Stupid anime before I can get into like watching free practice or qualifying. So, there's still another week of no Formula One, I can
does.
get rid of another episode quickly. Cut
It
it.
does get so much easier every week. I
Yeah.
didn't think like one episode would make a difference, but every week I feel it. Like it
Yeah.
is so much easier to get through all of
Yeah.
it when
Yeah.
there's one less.
When I basically get through them over the weekend. So like I watched 1 or 2 on Friday night, and then like 3 or 4 on Saturday and 3 or 4 on
Right.
Sunday. It's get it all.
I
get it
do
all out.
I do the complete opposite because I watch them when I have my lunch during weekdays.
Oh yeah.
So I divvy them up in weekdays,
Mhm.
and now it's already to the point where like I watch 2 episodes a day, and then some days I only have to watch 1, and it's like
The dream. The absolute dream. I wish I could do it. I wish I could do it.
it's so funny the way we're talking about it because it's like I would specifically like this week I was like, oh okay, here's what I'm gonna do this week. I get to pick one I want to watch, and then I have to watch.
It's such a bad way. It's like such a chore. I want to do an episode one day in the future where we talk about maybe like anime that we watched in the past that a bit underrated or something like that, or like not many people know about it, and we can
Yeah.
just talk like maybe we bring up 3 shows each.
You know what would be so interesting is if we did this challenge again, but we gave each other.
Yeah, we assign each other like 4 shows to watch.
Well, yeah, in like not from the current season,
Yeah.
but like shows that I've watched
But
that you haven't.
Yeah.
And then it would be so funny to hear the other person's like reviews
Yeah.
of stuff that like
You
you've
might have
watched.
liked.
Yeah.
And then maybe because you know how to tell them what it is, you could really just sneak in something horrible.
But I feel like the rule would have to be that you have watched it.
Yeah, you watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, so I mean, it's good to have that roundup. I think I know exactly what I'll be doing next week, but we will
Okay.
find out for sure when you
Yeah.
tune into next week's episode.
And if I am interested to know if anyone has, I guess I would be doubtful if anyone has picked up the same challenge as us. But if anyone is watching any of the shows this season, let us know your thoughts. Any of the shows that we've been watching, let us know your thoughts.
And if there's any of the shows from this season that we have somehow completely missed in between the 12 of us each, I mean, it's not all different. It's not like we have watching 24 shows altogether, but
well, there's
maybe there's
definitely
something where-
sequels that we're not watching.
yeah, there are sequels that we're not watching. But yeah, if there's something that we should have really picked up, as we're cutting more shows, we are having more time to potentially add something in to watch
Sure,
some
yeah.
gold we missed out on.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know. But other than that, I'd say goodbye.
Goodbye.